Hey, Celtics Nation. Let's dive into the latest from our Boston Celtics, because there's a lot to unpack from that recent matchup in Dallas. The team had just come off a double overtime grind, and barely a day and a half later, they were back on the court for a 3:30 p.m. tip-off. That's one of those brutal schedules where players barely have a chance to recover before they are forced to adjust to a completely different time zone. Think about it. If you're on the West Coast, players are warming up around 1 p.m., essentially trying to get ready for a game at what feels like 10 in the morning. Naturally, the Clippers were sluggish in the early stages, and it showed, especially in James Harden's performance in the first 2.5 quarters. The Celtics, on the other hand, were operating at a fantastic pace. They were aggressive, taking over 100 shots, and clearly controlling the tempo, exactly the kind of strategy you want when facing a slower team like the Clippers. They were starting to wear them down, running plays that were forcing the opposition into mistakes, and at that point, it seemed like the game was slipping out of Dallas' hands. But then came that tricky third quarter where desperation set in for the Clippers. Once the Celtics allowed them to settle into a rhythm, to shoot free throws and reset their defense, the pace of the game slowed dramatically. The Celtics excel in transition, but the Clippers are historically one of the slowest teams in terms of fast breaks. So when the Clippers stood still, the Celtics had to switch from attacking a dynamic defense to navigating a more structured, set-up defense. It's a different challenge entirely. No easy layups, no mismatches to exploit, just methodical half-court offense. Statistically, the Celtics are middle of the pack in transition opportunities, while the Clippers rarely break out, which made this a golden opportunity to push the pace and widen the lead. Unfortunately, in that stretch, the Celtics allowed 12 free throws and conceded 11 points from them, which was a huge factor in the Clippers clawing back. Those small lapses, missed box outs, second chance points given up, completely altered the dynamics of a game that had been comfortably in Boston's control. However, the Celtics regained their footing in the fourth quarter, which is where the discipline and focus really showed. They evened out the free throw attempts, won the second chance points battle, and forced turnovers when it mattered most. This was a moment where strategy and execution intersected perfectly. Rather than dwelling on the collapse of a 24-point lead, you have to give credit where it's due. Boston adjusted, stabilized, and controlled the closing minutes. Small things like cleaning up shooting fouls would have eliminated several free throws and made the lead more comfortable. Even a couple of better rebounds in that third quarter would have meant a smoother path to victory. These are minor adjustments, but at this level, they make a massive difference. One of the most exciting elements from this game was watching Peyton Pritchard and Derek White regain their rhythm. Pritchard was locked in, improving his shooting efficiency and taking confident shots without overthinking. White had an exceptional performance as well, flirting with a triple-double and showing classic form with high energy and smart decision-making. Their performances were key to keeping the Celtics ahead and countering moments where Harden went on a scoring spree. Speaking of Harden, the fourth quarter had him hitting insane shots, but the Celtics' defensive adjustments and contributions from Jaylen Brown and others balanced that out. Brown had a standout fourth quarter with 13 points and 7 rebounds, which was crucial in maintaining control and keeping the momentum on Boston's side. This game was also a showcase of high-level basketball IQ, where execution under pressure mattered. For example, the Celtics broke a press flawlessly late in the game, resulting in a dunk that extended their lead and minimized risk in crunch time. The team made critical free throws when it mattered, and role players like Jordan Walsh contributed exactly when they were needed. These are the plays and sequences that define a team's ability to close games, not just raw scoring. Defensively, Boston showed resilience, even with challenges in guarding James Harden. Walsh, in particular, was recognized for his defensive effort, competing at a high level, contesting shots, and making it difficult for the opposition to find easy opportunities. These small but significant details often get overlooked, but they are crucial to winning tight games and maintaining a competitive edge. Every adjustment, every smart rotation, and every contested shot reflects a team that is learning, adapting, and growing as a unit. The final moments of the game offered another chance to analyze basketball strategy at the highest level. The Clippers executed a near-perfect play in the last possession, but the Celtics' awareness and defensive choices ultimately prevented disaster. It highlighted both what can go wrong in a split-second decision and how preparation and anticipation can prevent mistakes from turning into losses. Moments like these show the fine margins in professional basketball. A single pass, a defensive stance, or a quick reaction can determine the outcome of a game. Meanwhile, Boston's shooting improvements, particularly from Pritchard and White, are something to watch going forward. Confidence is everything in basketball, and when players find their rhythm without overthinking, the team benefits immensely. Overanalyzing mechanics or hesitating in critical moments can disrupt flow, but letting instincts guide performance, supported by practice and preparation, produces results. This is evident in Pritchard's and White's recent performances, where high-level decision-making, rhythm, and confidence translated directly into points, assists, and game management. On top of individual performance, this game highlighted the importance of team chemistry, timing, and the ability to execute under pressure. The Celtics' rotations, spacing, and passing in the final minutes were textbook examples of coordinated team basketball. The blend of veterans and younger players contributing at critical moments demonstrates the depth and versatility of the roster. Even when faced with a talented opponent like the Clippers, Boston managed to impose their style, capitalize on strengths, and navigate challenges intelligently. This game also serves as a lesson in momentum management. Early dominance can be misleading if a team becomes complacent, and conversely, a strong close can erase earlier mistakes and secure a win. Boston's ability to rebound from the third-quarter slowdown, adjust defensively, and maintain composure in the fourth quarter is a mark of a team that is maturing and learning to control the pace and narrative of a game. It's the kind of performance that builds confidence for future matchups and provides insights into both strengths and areas to improve. From transition offense to half-court adjustments, from key defensive stops to clutch shooting, this game encapsulated nearly every aspect of professional basketball. It wasn't just about scoring points. It was about understanding timing, reading opponents, executing under pressure, and making smart decisions in real time. Every element, from player rotations to second-chance opportunities and free-throw management, contributed to a comprehensive display of basketball intelligence. In the end, this was a game that demonstrated the Celtics' resilience, adaptability, and emerging consistency. The early advantage, the third-quarter hiccups, and the strong fourth-quarter finish all tell a story of a team capable of learning and adjusting mid-game. It's a glimpse of how the Celtics can leverage talent, strategy, and teamwork to compete at the highest level, even in challenging situations with back-to-back schedules and demanding opponents. Continuing from the first part, the Celtics' performance in Dallas really underscored how crucial composure and situational awareness are at this level. The last sequence of the game provides a masterclass in both execution and what can go wrong when defensive communication falters. The Clippers ran a flawless play with Chris Dunn making a pinpoint full-court pass to Ivica Zubac, who quickly tipped it to James Harden in the left spot, the very spot where he had already hit 2 three-pointers in the closing seconds. It was the kind of play that could have undone the Celtics' hard work if not for a combination of smart defense, a bit of luck, and the team staying focused under immense pressure. The Celtics may have mismanaged some aspects of that final defensive alignment, like not contesting the inbound pass more aggressively and leaving Zubac unguarded near the baseline, but ultimately, Harden missed and Boston preserved the win. These are the nuanced moments that often define games, where awareness, preparation, and a bit of instinct come together to prevent disaster. What really stood out in this matchup was how the Celtics managed to stabilize after the third-quarter chaos. Boston allowed the Clippers to cut the lead down from 24 to just a handful, a scenario that could have rattled a less experienced team. Instead, they regrouped and executed a near-perfect fourth quarter, balancing offensive efficiency and defensive discipline. Jaylen Brown was particularly impressive, producing 13 points and 7 rebounds in the fourth quarter alone, countering Harden's late surge and keeping the Celtics firmly in control. Brown's effort was a reminder of the importance of star players stepping up at critical moments while also setting the tone for the rest of the team. The game also highlighted the value of role players in high-stakes situations. Jordan Walsh's contributions on both ends of the floor were subtle but impactful, from clutch free throws to strong defensive rotations. These moments often fly under the radar in highlight reels, but in a tightly contested NBA matchup, they can be the difference between a win and a loss. His presence allowed the Celtics to navigate the final minutes with confidence, providing stability and making it easier for the team's primary scorers to focus on executing high-pressure shots. Peyton Pritchard's performance was another crucial factor in the Celtics' success. After struggling with overthinking and tinkering with his form, Pritchard finally found a rhythm, letting instinct guide his shot selection. This is exactly the kind of adjustment that demonstrates growth at this level. Players who can trust their preparation and let the game come naturally often produce their best results. His confidence on the court translated into points and smart decision-making, and paired with Derek White's strong showing, 22 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds. Boston had the backcourt contribution it needed to complement Jaylen Brown's dominant fourth-quarter play. Beyond individual performances, the game was a showcase in strategic flexibility. The Celtics demonstrated they could dictate pace early, accelerate the tempo, and then adjust when faced with a slower, more methodical opponent. Their ability to exploit mismatches, run transition plays effectively, and then switch gears against a set defense illustrated a high basketball IQ and strong coaching influence. Small adjustments, like maintaining box outs, contesting free throws, and controlling second chance points, turn a potentially nerve-wracking finish into a disciplined, controlled conclusion. These are the details that separate teams that can contend in the playoffs from those that struggle under pressure. Another key element was how the Celtics handled James Harden. Even though he hit several clutch shots, Boston's defensive rotations forced him into less-than-perfect situations, and collective effort prevented him from dominating entirely. This demonstrates that basketball is rarely about one player, but rather how the entire team responds and adapts. By maintaining structure and executing team principles, the Celtics limited potential damage, which is vital in close games where a single sequence can determine the outcome. The balance between offense and defense in this matchup also deserves attention. The Celtics took advantage of the Clippers' slower pace, pushing the ball when opportunities arose while remaining disciplined in half-court settings. They managed free throws efficiently, secured key rebounds, and created turnovers at pivotal moments. This combination of aggression and restraint allowed them to maintain control despite the late surge from Dallas, emphasizing the importance of managing the flow of the game, reading the opponent's tendencies, and making timely adjustments. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers have been swirling through NBA circles, but none as loud or as electrifying as the latest murmur echoing out of Boston. Devin Booker has reportedly been announced by the Boston Celtics, sending shockwaves across the league and sparking a frenzy of speculation. No official statements have been released, and yet insiders insist the news is all but confirmed, fueling a wave of excitement that has fans wondering whether the Celtics are quietly assembling one of the most dangerous scoring duos in recent memory. What's feeding the rumor even more is the talk of Booker arriving in the middle of a blistering stretch, piling up points in consecutive outings and drawing praise for his relentless rhythm. Observers claim the Celtics have been monitoring his surge closely, impressed not only by his scoring bursts but by the composure and creativity he's shown in tight contests. Some say Boston's front office had been preparing a move for weeks. Others say the opportunity appeared suddenly, and the Celtics pounced before the rest of the league even realized the window was open. Around the team's facility, players have reportedly been buzzing, exchanging knowing looks and cryptic comments about a new spark coming to the locker room. One unnamed source hinted that the coaching staff has already been sketching out lineups and rotations built around Booker's versatility, imagining him sliding effortlessly alongside the Celtics' current core. The idea of him wearing green, finding space off screens, hitting mid-range jumpers with impossible smoothness, or taking over late possessions, has fans already dreaming of deep postseason runs. Rival executives, meanwhile, are said to be scrambling to verify the legitimacy of the buzz. Some believe it's a smokescreen designed to disrupt trade markets, while others insist that Boston has pulled off something bold, maybe even era-defining. Social media has erupted in theories, mock graphics, and wild projections, all without a single formal confirmation. Whether this is smoke, fire, or something in between, one thing is certain. The noise around Devin Booker and the Boston Celtics is only getting louder. And if the rumor proves true, the league may be on the brink of a seismic shift, one that could redefine the balance of power for seasons to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.